Hello and welcome everybody. Our folks here at Morgan asked us to prepare this video for you on how to prepare and pass for the CIA exam. My name is Waddah Hallak. I'm the Business Development Director at PRC, and I'll be taking you through this short video. Of course, there are 7 pillars to pass the CIA exam. Pillar number 1 is to really want to pass. That is your primary starting point. You have to really want it in order to be able to pass it. So the first pillar is to say, I want it. And that's almost half the way through passing this exam. Now, the second pillar is to know thy challenge. What are we talking about? The CIA exam is a 3-part exam, 3 multiple choice parts. Each exam contains the first exam contains 125 multiple choice questions over 2.5 hours. The second exam is 100 multiple choice questions over 2 hours. And the third exam is 100 multiple choice questions over 2 hours. Now, why does part 1 have 125 multiple choice questions? Because 25 questions of these 125 will not count towards your grade. Do you know which ones? No, you will not. Now, you can guess any questions that you see out of context or over and above the expected number of questions for that particular topic. You can expect these questions to be the test questions. Now, the passing grade of the CIA is a scaled exam. The passing scale is 600. Now, what does the 600 translate into percentage points? No one knows. Generally speaking, though, if you get an easy exam, you will need slightly higher percentage of correct questions in order to pass the exam. Now, the third pillar is the material you choose or how you choose to study. Now, there are multiple ways that you can choose to study. You can use the textbooks, the university textbooks, which we do not recommend. You can use review books, which we do recommend. You can attend a live class or an online review with our partners here at Morgan. Now, the fourth pillar is the plan. You need to plan, just like anything in life. You really need to plan how on preparing for this exam. Now, the starting point is to set a target date. For these exams, it's best to set a target date. When do you aim to achieve, or when do you aim to complete this exam? And then you would budget or allocate your hours accordingly. We believe you will need approximately 400 to 500 preparation hours for this exam for all 3 parts. And we strongly recommend a 20-hour work week or study during the week. Now, next is preparation. The best way to prepare is to start going through the books, practicing the multiple choice questions that you will have on your online platform, re-attempting any questions that you have solved incorrectly on previous attempts, completing a final review, and finally preparing a final exam. Now, the study approach that we do recommend is the rest and reward. Don't just study. Do small sessions of studying and reward yourself. Go out with friends, watch a movie, rest, etc. Now, all topics are equally important on the CIA. You cannot just guess or estimate. Each page of your material, each question or each topic has an equal chance of showing up on your exam. So it's best to study evenly. And we here at PRC have already completed or performed a review of the important topics, and we condensed it into your review material. You cannot afford to skip any topic in the review material. Always focus on your weaknesses. Do not study evenly. Identify your areas of weakness and focus on these areas. Always stay positive and avoid any negative peer. Now is the time to write the exam. Now, the best approach is to review and rest before your exam. Get a good night's sleep before your exam. And now is the exam time. How do you go through it? Our recommended approach is to conduct the multiple pass approach. And that is, you start at the beginning and you solve the short and or easy questions on your first pass. Do do not, I emphasize, do not study or practice all questions evenly. Pause, repeat the slide. You start on your exam, and we recommend using PRC's multiple pass approach. The way you do that is you start from the beginning and you attempt solving only the short and or easy multiple choice questions first. If you find a long question or a question that looks difficult, skip it. Don't even read it. Don't start reading it. Just go to the next question. Short and easy, attempt it. Long and or difficult, skip it until you get through the entire exam. Towards the end, you will get 4 options. Option number 1 is to end the exam. We don't want that yet. You can review all questions. We don't need to review all questions. You can review marked questions. We haven't yet marked any questions. And you can review questions unanswered. These are the ones we want. So you go back and you study and you do the unanswered questions. And you do a second pass throughout the content. Personally, when I did these exams, I went 3, 6, or 7 times throughout the exam. Every time focusing on the longer and or more difficult questions. And remember, for this approach to work, do not attempt to read long and or difficult questions. If you do start to read a question, you've already spent time on it, solve it. If you have to, mark it and come back to it, even though I don't personally recommend that you go back and change any answers that you've attempted earlier. Now, of course, on the exam, emphasize keywords such as not, except, least, most, and the CIA exam is very tricky in that respect. Sometimes you get 2 or 3 correct answers, but which one is the most appropriate? Which of them is the least appropriate? So emphasize these keywords. Of course, duplicate answers. So if you get 2 answers that are the same, both are wrong. And if you get answers that are opposites, most of the times one of them is the correct answer. The CIA exam will not penalize you. Unlike some other exams, the CIA exam will not penalize you for incorrect questions. So attempt all questions and answer all questions, even if you have to guess. And our final pillar to pass the CIA exam is stay positive throughout. Sometimes you might not be successful in your first attempt. Stay positive. You can do it. If I did it, if a lot of people around you did it, you can do it. Wishing you all the best, and we hope future CIAs, and we'll see you future CIAs in the near future.